Hey, earlier this week, the Big 12 accidentally released, like genuinely on accident, the end of season accolades, the awards for its basketball players. AJ Dybantsa, the best player in America, didn't win Big 12 Player of the Year. This is the Dose Grande squad. Where's the damn video?
You're talking ball with the Big 12 squad. From Oklahoma State to Utah, from Kansas State to BYU, from Houston to Texas Tech, it's the local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network bringing you scoops, breakdowns, and the most comprehensive preview of the upcoming Big 12 weekend. Buckle up. It's the Big 12 squad, and we have a seat for you. No hurt feelings and thin skin allowed. Squad up. You're part of the Big 12 squad.
Happy Thursday night, everybody. Welcome to the Big 12 squad. Oh, hey, that's me. I'm Drake Toll from Locked On Big 12. Thanks for making this show your first listen every single day. And if you're not, you're probably listening to that guy, Cody Stovall, Locked On Oklahoma State, or Parker Ainsworth, Locked On Cougars, talking all things Houston. Grab a beer or whatever you fancy. Grab a Coke. I don't care what you grab, but I am incensed. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this is real. I hope it's not real. I'm going to preface the conversation with this. Number one, if you hit subscribe, we get to keep our jobs. Number two, thank you for making our shows your first listen every single day. And for our everydayers, use code MARCH at lockedoncougars.supercast.com, lockedonbig12.supercast.com, locked on Oklahoma. You get the point. And use that code MARCH for a free month of the Everydayer Club, ad-free Locked On shows for you. Preface. This isn't fake. The Big 12 actually posted a graphic with Player of the Year accolades accidentally on their website this week. By the time this drops on Thursday, they could have said, hand up, that's our fault. It was a template. We didn't actually want to give those players those awards. And I hope that's what happened because, gents, this is what that graphic looks like, and it is genuinely stunning. Jaden Bradley, Player of the Year in the Big 12. I'll give a little extra context here, by the way. This is a situation where I'm, again, dumbfounded, where the Big 12 was trying to post the Player of the Week awards, and accidentally the graphic they attached to it shows Player of the Year, Sixth Man, Scholar Athlete, Most Improved. But, Parker, how the hell would Jaden Bradley ever even be the Player of the Year in the Big 12? Like, if this is a real thing, we are in dangerous territory.
Well, and it's interesting because, so look, full disclosure, I probably would have given it to JT Toppin, even though he didn't finish the last quarter of the season. I think, frankly, the slide of tech.
Also, you know what? Cool. I'm not that mad about it.
And like, I want to say it because I'm going to sound like someone who's bitter when I say this. He's not the third most valuable guy on his own team. I'm not sure how he's, and like, they're a really good basketball team. They got really good players, but I'd put Burries ahead of him. I'd put Pete ahead of him. I kind of like the Karchenkov guy, being really honest. He's a weird matchup. And look, man, if you've got multiple guys ahead of him and Coach of the Year and Sixth Man of the Year, I just don't see how that he's the veteran and he was available in every game, and I guess that counts for a lot. But ultimately, I just don't see it. On Twitter, someone mentioned that his shooting splits and numbers offensively look a lot like Jamal Shedd's did the year Jamal Shedd won Big 12 Player of the Year. Jamal Shedd was also a NABC and Naismith Defensive Player of the Year that year, like a National Player of the Year winner that year. On top of having the exact same offensive numbers, I just don't see this. And again, I'm not even trying to advocate for a Cougar. I'm not saying it needs to be Sharp or Flemings or somebody. I just don't see this one.
Cody, I think the Big 12 did a stupid.
Yeah, the Big 12's looking for more relevance. This definitely doesn't help. This reminds me of when we did the one true champion, and then we named two true champions. So we got 0 teams. That's what this reminds me of. I don't think Brett Yormark makes very many mistakes. I don't think that the Big 12 in general makes a lot of mistakes. But this is inexcusable. 13 points a game. That's what it takes.
Can I give you a stat?
To be the best player, 13.4 points a game.
Can I add a stat to that?
Yeah.
He in his most recent game, and by Thursday, plenty of the Big 12 tournament has happened. We record these Monday night, so we're going into kind of overarching themes about the Big 12. There could be something really crazy happening. You're like, why are they talking about that crazy thing? Because it's Monday, but it's Thursday. Hi, and this is still relevant. Cody, here's the stat I'm going to give you to defend your point.
Yeah.
He played 36 minutes against Colorado in the last regular season game for Arizona. Did you know you and Jaden Bradley had the same number of points in that game? Cody, you didn't play.
My hops off the couch game right now.
Cody, you didn't play. You didn't play a single minute in that game, and you had the same number of points.
Hey, that rumor checks out. Yeah, no, I think Parker accentuated it perfectly. It could have been JT Toppin. That makes sense. Could have been AJ Dybantsa. That makes sense. It could have been that PJ Haggerty dude from one of the worst teams in the conference. That would make more sense. And then you have Christian Anderson. There's so many other options that are clearly, visibly in the running for the best player in the conference. This has to be a typo, right? This has to be a BCS 0.0008% kind of ridiculous. Make it make sense, fellas. I don't get it. There's not a single statistical category where Jaden Bradley is that guy.
Yeah, obviously, I don't know if folks have clicked on. If you're an NBA draft person, or No Ceilings group has actually combined. They have a Locked On No Ceilings NBA draft podcast. Good listen. And I know the NBA draft is not necessarily like the way to pick Big 12 Player of the Year. They've got 7 Big 12 players in the first round of the NBA draft in the latest mock draft. They've got 2 from Arizona. None of them are named Jaden Bradley. He'd be close, right? He should be close. I don't know.
Please
He'd
welcome
be close to like 5th place.
Yeah, please welcome to the stage. He loves a good beer, long walks on the beach, and cleavage. The rock kind. He is a rockologist. Cameron Stewart of Locked On Baylor.
Maybe even the Rock's cleavage.
Hey-o.
Atta babe.
And
from the top rope.
Look, Cam,
I like that when you zoomed out, I can now see FU behind Cody. And I know that's French University, but I like to read it as if it's FU.
Yeah.
Well, Falcons.
Cam, if you had a top 3 pick in the NBA draft.
Roman Anthony nuke job. That's the future of this sport.
World Baseball Classic is on. Happy Monday night.
I was literally
that
like
puts a
in the
timestamp on
backstage.
the
I was like,
show,
I really
though,
hope he
fellas.
doesn't bring me up during this Roman Anthony at bat.
Hey, shout out to Oklahoma State Cowboy Nolan McClain pitching tomorrow against Italy.
Oh, pitched a couple days ago against Italy. Man, we're really getting burned by the whole Monday thing here.
Oh, yeah.
If you're listening to this on Thursday, don't tell me how this game ends. Just a 3-run piss missile.
Cam, what do you think about the Jaden Bradley situation?
Yeah, if you've got a top 3 pick in the NBA draft, you're taking AJ Dybantsa, right? You're taking AJ Dybantsa. He's the best player maybe in college basketball and the best overall basketball player in the Big 12. That's not who we give these awards to, by the way. I get it. If there's some semantics things. Just because you're the best player doesn't always mean you win Player of the Year. But damn, man, Jaden Bradley scored 0 points against Colorado. And the Big 12, they can't even spell Christian Anderson right. I mean, any issues with the rest of this list is fine, but
yeah,
just fine. But man, if they're gonna do this, I hope I'm warning the Big 12, please don't do this.
Somebody at the Big 12 office is messing with JT's supply a little bit too much, apparently. Because
JT's supply. I was going to
JT's
say.
supply.
Well,
yep.
There you go.
Yeah, Cam, because you're not very tapped into this, the Big 12 accidentally leaked their Player of the Year and accolades for the season. No Baylor Bears.
They knew we were recording tonight.
Yep, no Baylor Bears. They accidentally leaked it.
No Baylor Bears, but there are 2 Baylor Bears that would have made more sense, right?
Yeah, Carr or Yesufu.
I wouldn't have voted for them, but they would have made more sense to me.
Yeah, it would have also been stupid, but this is a guy who scores 13 points a game to Dybantsa's 24 and a half. Coming up,
guys, Anthony Roy would have been a better choice. I'm just throwing that out there. If we're talking about people that can produce,
PJ Haggerty, man, that's a pretty good shout. Actually, I mean, Kingston Flemings. Come on, just do.
Yes.
Did Flemings win nothing here?
Nothing
on that. I believe they're saying he's a first team all conference, but he's not on that.
Coming up, this is a wild one, and I've talked about it a bit this week. The United States government wants to fix college football. Here's the problem. The United States government isn't always the best at fixing things. And it seems like we didn't really get anywhere on Friday. This is the Dose Grande squad.
I'm Clea Butler, host of Locked On Women's Basketball, and this is Mazda's Women's Basketball Snapshot, celebrating the work no highlight reel can ever capture. Number 1 ranked UConn dominated St. John's 85-49 on Sunday at Madison Square Garden, extending its winning streak to 47 games. The Huskies capped a perfect 31-0 regular season, including 20-0 in the Big East. UConn is winning by nearly 38 points per game, the third largest average margin in Division I history. Since 1999 to 2000, UConn has 9 undefeated regular seasons, as many as all other programs combined, and has turned 6 of those into national championships. These moments are earned off the clock, those long before the lights ever come on. The sweat, the fakes, the doubt, the scrapes, and coming back for more every time. Mazda puts that same drive into every detail. Wins define the moment, putting in the work, that defines you. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you.
So UConn just does that undefeated thing again, huh?
Yeah, they win a lot, which is good because it means Kim Mulkey didn't. So that's good.
Hey,
that is Parker Ainsworth of Locked On Cougs, Cody Stovall, Locked On Oklahoma State, Cameron Stewart of Locked On Baylor. So here's the deal. When I say the government's not always the best at getting things done, they're good at war. We can do war, by the way. You see Mississippi, where they said Trinidad Chambliss can play next year. The NCAA said no, unequivocally no 6th year. And then a judge, who's probably an Ole Miss grad, said, what about yes? So we're already using the government.
Hear me out. Yes.
We're already using the government
did yes
to our advantage.
Instead of no, we do yes.
And so
I'm sold.
Friday,
think about it.
Nearly a week ago, nothing's happened in the week since. We all went to Washington, D.C. with Ross Dellinger and said, Mr. President, please save us.
Tear down this wall.
And you know what? Nothing really happened. Aside from the president saying he might move NIL to players making $25,000 a year, which back then was rich. 10 years ago, you were a rich college player if you were making $25,000 a year.
I mean, dude, I don't know. You could be, if you're in Waco or Stillwater and you're just a student making $25K.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that Pony Excess movie is talking about like Pontiacs and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, and then Nick Saban came to the podium and was like, there's a permeating issue in college football. All I've ever been worried about is education. Like, Maya, no, you haven't. Do not be the guy who stands up first and says, wait, we got to fix this now. We got to fix this, y'all. It's like, stop. This is your fault. You did this.
Was that calling the kettle black thing, right?
Yeah.
I want to ask a question because I looked this up because I talked about it on my own show earlier this week too.
Yeah.
What is the average full-time professor salary in the United States?
Ooh.
Anybody know?
Probably $65,000 a year.
I was going to go 70 to 75.
Yeah. So a full-time professor, actually, it's close to 150,000.
Oh,
right?
what am I? Why am I not a professor?
A professor.
Yeah.
Professor.
We got to, like, there's a lot of steps to get the full-time and then the tenure, right? Like, so you're pretty well in the system. Yeah.
Here's what I was going to say is $150,000 a year is also known as a tenth of what Saban made from Alabama and LSU just for his on-the-field earnings, right? Like
nobody shows up to chemistry class, Parker. All right,
just absurd.
Not even the players.
Look, guys. Well, conceptually speaking, I think this is a brilliant idea. I think we can all agree college football is absolutely out of control, and yeah, I think just the idea of it is something that needs to happen. Because otherwise, this Wild Wild West thing is going to continue. I don't think that the SEC has any need or desire to stop doing precisely what they're doing. So without some entity stepping in to monitor things, we know it's not going to be the NCAA. So, yeah, I think this has to happen. And it's kind of unfortunate that, as you mentioned, it's kind of gone stale recently because I do think this would be something that would even out the playing field a little bit more, which is all I think the ACC and the Big 12 want.
Yeah, but Cody, I think that's the shame is that like there really are a handful of problems that could be done here, like need to be fixed, right? And like, the problem is that this does not feel like it's actually any movable. There's no way they're not even going to incorporate present tense athletes or like recent college athletes that can speak to what being an athlete in this era is like. I mean, Tim Tebow is an athlete, and sure, and I guess the basketball representative is Adam Silver with the NBA. Like I
Nailed it.
Tiger Woods there.
Good
I don't
spot.
understand what this is. I mean, I agree, Cody. There are actual problems and things that need to get fixed. I shouldn't like move past that. The shame is that there are actual problems, and this was a lot of lip service not doing it to me.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. A lot of talk, no action is extremely disappointing. It's the same as the NCAA. I was just, can we call a spade a spade?
Sure. Yeah, there you go.
Is that so? That's my problem is like, why would we waste our time shooting finger guns at each other at the White House just to say that, oh, we all went to the White House, we're doing something, and you're not. Nothing's happening. Nothing's changing. College football, college athletics, nothing did change, and I feel like we're no closer to a solution.
Do you think maybe some of it is just posturing to see what the outcry is going to be? You think some of it is like, we're just going to put it out there that we're going to do something, and then we're going to gauge what the national reaction is before we make more movements. And perhaps the national reaction wasn't what they thought it was going to be. And I don't know.
You know what it reminds me of? The damn LED court. They say, you know what? We're going to put a TV on the court. It's going to be a TV. You're going to love it. And then the entire country is going to talk about it, and the Big 12 will be better than the SEC. They're all going to say, wow, the Big 12 is so much better than the SEC because the glow-in-the-dark court. And you know what? They rolled out the court. America collectively said, we, A, don't care, and B, if we do care, it's because we hate it. And then we all moved on. It did nothing. It was a PR play for nothing.
I do think they're not utilizing it enough. Like, if you have that capability in timeouts and stuff, I think they should be doing a little bit more than playing kid games. I'm just saying they should be. Dude, you should be playing like highlights and having dragons with fire breathing crap on the middle of the court.
All
right,
we're talking. That's what. Talk about NIL dollars. I'd pay for that. I on the conversation. I guess my thought is like they talked about eventually. Right. I mean, eventually, President Trump's going to come with an executive order. That's like the big conclusion out of it or whatever. I don't know how much that. I don't know what the order would be. I guess at the time of recording, we don't know what that is. Is that really the only way to solve this? Is like is that the best thing we can do here, fellas? Is an executive order?
I don't think all parties are playing amicably. So yes, it might take something to that effect.
And plus, these places get your order wrong all the time.
What?
There's just no accountability. Yeah.
When we come back, I have talked 17 times on my show this week about West Virginia and why Auburn's getting more love than them in basketball. And I'm gonna do it again. Let me do it again with Mountaineer Paul, Dose Grande squad. Hey, today's show is brought to you by Robinhood. Yeah, buckle up. What if sports were traded like markets? Now you can put your sports IQ to the test, and you can put your sports IQ to the test in real time. Robinhood Prediction Markets. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. You can buy or sell positions live all game long. Use your sports knowledge in the moments that matter. Robinhood Prediction Markets changes the game. It's people moving the action, so when the momentum shifts, you can move with it. I always knew the game, but never knew it had a dynamic way to apply that knowledge. Now I can actually take part live in a market powered by people. You're no longer just a spectator, play-by-play. You decide. Trade every play with Robinhood, now available across the U.S. Download the Robinhood app now to begin. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Robinhood. Today's show is also brought to you by Coast. Coast is a brand new sponsor of Locked On Big 12 and our shows, and they're giving Locked On College listeners up to $2,000 credit for your business when you get started today. If you message a crew, construction, HVAC, manage a crew, I should say, construction, HVAC, landscaping, any operation with trucks on the road, you already know how messy gas and material spending can get. Cards get shared, receipts disappear. Month end turns into a headache. Coast Pay fixes all of it. Coast Pay is a modern fuel card and expense management tool built specifically for fleets. Every transaction shows up at the moment it happens. No surprises. Real-time alerts, automatic receipt capture, works anywhere Visa is accepted. Right now, Coast Pay is offering our listeners up to $2,000 credit when you get started at coastpay.com/lockedoncollege. Go to coastpay.com/lockedoncollege to see how you can earn up to $2,000 credit. Terms apply at Coast. And finally, today's show is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Strawberry Banana, bum, ba-da-bum, was the #1 overall pick in the 2026 5-hour energy draft. Great Toll selects strawberry banana. It's the best. Not too acidic. The beauty of banana, little strawberry in there. What I like about it is that it's not too acidic. It would hurt my tummy if it was. 5-hour energy shots give you a boost with 0 sugar. They have a lot of upcoming flavor innovations planned as well. I'm hopeful that we will see the Rocket Pop flavor. Fingers crossed. 5-hour energy. Find your favorite shots at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. 5hourenergy.com or Amazon today. We have added Mountaineer Paul into the fold. Paul, look, man, again, we record this Monday night. It releases on Thursday, so we're going to miss a couple games in here. So I don't care. I don't care if West Virginia won every game in the Big 12 tournament or lost every game. Can someone explain to me, what are we all putting our hoods on here? Can somebody explain to me,
Boys in the
please,
Yeah.
Paul,
hood.
how Auburn is going to get into the NCAA tournament and somehow West Virginia can't even get mentioned in the same vein as these tournament teams? How is this still happening even after West Virginia beat a tournament team, UCF?
I am cornhole.
It's ridiculous, man. Like,
Oh.
if you want to make the argument that West Virginia is not a tournament team, that's one thing. But if you're trying to force me Indiana and Auburn, you miss me with that. Indiana's lost 4 straight games at the end of the season. I've already went off yesterday on my show about DeVries and that whole situation. And obviously, if we could play them in the NIT or the Crown, that would be content creation heaven for me. I can only pray for that if we do go that direction. Obviously, rather be in the tournament. Listen, it's just at the end of the day, we're at a point where first in football, now in basketball, the SEC is just controls the narrative to the point to where a team like Auburn is looked upon as more favorably as a West Virginia because the SEC is a stronger league somehow. It's frustrating, man. It really is. Like, I would love to play them head up, but I mean, it's not going to really happen. West Virginia, I think, unfortunately, lost to too many bad teams and put themselves in this position. But I do think that we are a team that could beat a couple teams in March as well at the same time. So, yeah, it's frustrating as hell. Obviously, we've got work to do. And the biggest thing that sucks is we have to play Houston if we do win that game. So, as much as I would love to beat Houston, that would obviously be a tough thing.
Paul,
Listen, fellas, hold on. As the expert here, the only team in this conversation that beat both Auburn and West Virginia is the Cowboys. So that
we
means
did
they're
that.
in the playoffs.
We did that. I guess, Paul, I want to ask, because I am firmly against stretching tournament out to more teams, right? I don't think we need more than 68. Although I guess if you want to start getting on field-of-68.com has taken me field of 72, field of 76, start getting some of those, rights.
Nice.
I guess that's probably a way to get on that. Is there a different solution here besides, is the only option here West Virginia and Auburn, or West Virginia and Indiana? Because, look, I understand Houston's in a different spot, but I could get talked into adding a second A10 team because St. Louis and VCU are both, tied for lead in that league. Only one of those teams is going to get to go, right? I get talked into that in a different kind of way than if we're going to take some bottom of the barrel Auburn team. That doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, I mean, you look at where West Virginia finished in the conference. We finished 7th, right? So I think, just strictly from a West Virginia perspective, if you value the Big 12 as a conference, and then West Virginia finished 7th in that conference, that seems like a pretty good starting point. Now, you can get into the metrics, and it does get worse at times, but what did you want to say, Drake?
So for me, I'd like to know.
It's that time of year, fellas.
God.
Would you guys I would put Miami of Ohio in over West Virginia.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think that's kind of where you're going with this is there are some teams in the mid-major level I want to see what they do in March Madness. Now, I would not put a 500 SEC team over West Virginia. Again, someone explain to me how the number 5 overall team in the Big 12 is a 2 seed, Iowa State. The number 5 overall team's a 2 seed. The number 10 overall team, BYU, they're a 6 seed, maybe a 7 seed. West Virginia, the 7th ranked team in the Big 12, not even on the bubble. What? You can't do that. It doesn't make any sense.
That's like the same people making the Jaden Bradley decision.
Well, And the thing about this, Cincinnati is rated a little bit further ahead of West Virginia. We beat them twice. UCF is rated ahead of West Virginia. They're in the tournament. We beat them twice. So
I think sometimes people just forget stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think they were like, hey, we really screwed over Darian DeVries last year. Like, remember that? We should throw him a bone. And it's like,
we did.
oh,
get
no,
screwed
we
bad.
actually screwed over West Virginia. Well, it's kind of late now.
Do you guys think that there is a bias at West
Stuff like
Virginia that
that.
other teams don't get, or some teams don't get? Like,
I mean, I'm starting to
I've
feel
always
that way.
felt that way. Like, and people will say you're crazy for it, but I truly do believe there is just a little bit extra bias towards West Virginia for some reason. I don't know what reason it is. I don't know if it's because Pat McAfee's in the media now, or like there has to be a reason, and I can't figure out what.
Has it always existed this way?
It's yeah. Like you can go back to, and everybody, confirmation bias is real. So I try to always remember that. But you can go back to like West Virginia played Clemson in the Orange Bowl. It was a complete sweep for Clemson. We won that game 70-33. Kirk Herbstreit said, not only will Clemson win this game, they will destroy West Virginia. He literally said that. You can find it online.
But in basketball, and I do think one interesting about basketball, Kelvin always used to say in the American was like, unlike football, you can win your league, get in the dance, and prove it in a way that you can't do in football, right? Like you can't win the American Athletic Conference in football and get to play your way into a national championship the same way you can in basketball, right?
Yeah.
And in basketball, there is an interesting like mid-majors, upsets, the tournament's kind of wonky, etc. Paul, I don't mean this pejoratively. Is the best non-conference win you got Pitt? That's probably the best non-conference win you got.
Yeah. No,
Because
that's absolutely the case.
I think that the real trick here is actually the same thing that the Miami of Ohio coach was saying last weekend. He was like, look, the deal isn't that we didn't want to play a better non-conference schedule, it's that no one would schedule us, right? And these scheduling games are about TV dollars and this, and like UConn and Duke will play each other, right? Like Gonzaga is going to get there and play Kentucky, and like those big TV games happen. I kind of feel like, Paul, you're in a spot where West Virginia can't get those games, and you get stuck playing Lafayette. Wake Forest is a power conference game for you. Like
we had
like
our
those,
shots. Like we lost. We lost to Ohio State in double overtime by 1 point. We lost to Clemson. We were up 14 with 6 minutes to go and lost that game. The context is that we lost we had a 7-man lineup. That's what we run. 2 of those starters didn't play for the first 8-ish games. So we lost those 2 games. So I do think that's context that the committee's probably not going to see, but I'm just saying, I do think that we were the better team in each of those games, but unfortunately we were shorthanded. As college basketball, it happens. And like most other teams, we had to flip an entire roster. And also the one thing that we have that nobody has is a 4th coach in 4 consecutive years. So the fact that we're even at the spot that we're at, I think speaks to the power of, what Rimbecker has tried to do here and put us in a position in spite of these horrible circumstances to continuously be in the conversation.
A second West Virginia question, though, because you mentioned the 4th coach, and I guess we can mention his name without getting fired. Oh,
stop. Don't say it.
He who shall not be named that used to coach there, I think did have a lot of respect as far as how he coached nationally, right?
Yeah.
Guys,
I plead the 5th.
We're just circling the wagons. The reason Auburn is going to be above West Virginia is because of Tahid Pettiford. When you have a potential NBA lottery pick, that draws eyeballs. That buys tickets.
You have seen that, Cody. You almost saw that. I should say you almost saw that alive and well in 2021.
Cunningham? Yeah.
But they won. They won the tournament. So
the
year we were
BYU,
supposed to be, the year Oklahoma State was supposed to be suspended, they didn't suspend us because we had Kate Cunningham. The minute Kate Cunningham left, they were like, ha, 4 years ago, we got you. It was very evident that the NCAA tournament had a vested interest in Kate Cunningham being in the tournament.
Hey,
did you guys notice that Ohio State has a new all-time leading scorer, and I've never heard of the guy?
Yeah,
Bruce Thornton.
Am I young? Like, is that what's happening here?
You are Cornelio.
Not near Paul knew him right away, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
And like Ohio State has sucked like his whole time there.
Paul watches ball, dog. That's the difference.
Pretty much all I do.
Ball's a ball knower, dude. Ball's a ball knower.
I like
okay.
skills too.
Like, is there a leading scorer?
Don't mention the name of that
all-time leading
candy.
scorer in the Big
It's
12
awesome.
that I can't name? I don't know.
No free ads. Don't mention Bob Huggins and don't.
Fired.
Oh no.
What are you doing? Oh, hello.
Okay, now that the year's over, for the regular season's over, she can coach. She can coach. They won some
Molly
games.
Miller?
All
Molly
women can coach.
Mark Kellogg can coach.
Yeah, what are you saying? You didn't think she could coach? She's a woman.
This is someone
didn't
who
know
is
anything
a
about her
coach
resume.
himself, an educator. I can't believe what I just heard.
They won games.
Cam's behind women coaching. Good job,
Singling
Cam.
out just one. I think we should have more women's coaching.
She's the first ever women's basketball coach to be a woman.
Oh, this is great.
Somehow she won, man. She Danica
All
Patrick.
ESPN talks about is Gino.
Gino
so,
Auriemma should be the next West Virginia men's basketball coach.
Because of men.
ESPN would do.
Our women's coach, I actually did a show on, should we consider Mark Kellogg, who just won the Big 12 title yesterday? Wasn't received well.
Really?
Notice I'm going with the women's coach that's actually a man, of course. Just like
Really
let's
stick
be
it to him. Yeah.
That's Cameron Stewart, Parker Ainsworth, Mountaineer Paul, Cody Stovall. This has been always locked on the Dose Grande Squad.
Is that?